Yo, what is going on? It is me, Norman Cloniel, here with a little review of a not so remarkable premium in the German tech tree at 6.3. It is the one and only Jagdpanther SPG. I don't know what I don't know what else to call it. Of course, calling it the one and only is a little bullshit. In many instances, this one is, or this vehicle, this premium is basically the same thing as it is in the tech tree. If I am not mistaken, the premium version, the one that you were seeing here, is the command variant. So you actually carry less ammo. You have Zimmerit coating, like an anti-magnetic coating on the outside of the tank, so it has a different surface, and you have like an antenna on top because radios and shit for the unit commander. I actually picked this thing up today. I don't know why. I just kind of had an inkling to play 6.3, well, actually, really 5.7, 6.0 Germany. I believe Germany is the best tech tree in the game, at least when it comes to tanks. Air, I'm sure, America, Russia, and Britain might give it a little bit of a run for its money. But for tanks, in my opinion, Germany is hands down the best. There is no Russian bias. There is 100% crowd bias. I don't give a fuck what anyone has to say about that. So, the Jagdpanther, I'm just going to call it the Panther. Fuck it. If I say Panther during this video, you know exactly what I mean. It was 6,090 Golden Eagles. It's about 35 bucks or so for what is essentially a copy-paste premium, or copy-paste vehicle, fuck me, copy-paste vehicle from the tech tree. And I think that copy-paste vehicles kind of get a bad rap in the game, because what if you really like the tech tree vehicle and you want another one in your lineup? You know what I mean? Ooh, look at that. Look at that. Poor ASU 57 right there. That was kind of funny. Anyways, what if you really like the Jagdpanther and you want another one in your lineup? Like, you should obviously look at this like it's awesome. Like, fuck yeah, I can have two of these fucking things in there. So I don't want to look at the copy-paste aspects, because in many instances, this is copy-paste. I don't want to look at that and say, oh, it's not worth your time. I mean, you ultimately do get Silverline, the bonus and the RP bonus, which I've already completed the German tech tree. I completed the German tech tree sometime last year, so I don't really give a fuck about the RP necessarily. But in terms of the silver lines, it's pretty nice. I have like 7 or 8 fucking premium vehicles in my 6.3 lineup for Germany. So adding another one is obviously really good. So how does this thing play? I mean, it plays like any fucking casemate TD, The best thing about this, about the Panther here is you get the long 88, which is just fucking phenomenal. It is probably one of the best cannons at 6.3. For the longest time, I thought the Russian 100 mil was the best cannon at like 6.3, 6.7. Fuck no. The long 88 is hands down the best. You have excellent penetration. I believe your penetration is somewhere in the ballpark of 230 mils, or millimeters of, armor. Point blank 0 degree, angle. You have 108 grams of explosive filler, give or take. Pretty certain it's 108 grams of explosive filler. It's fucking awesome. You will one hit 99% of the enemies that you kill, or that you shoot, and even if the round doesn't penetrate, you have the chance of overpressuring them when with the high amount of explosive filler, especially if you're using like the worse 88 from like the Tigers or whatever. But that's obviously like a different tank. So the cannon on this thing is fucking nuts. The only real issue with this vehicle is it's a casemate. You aren't going to enter every situation with the same benefits that you would with like a regular tank. You don't have a turret, so if in terms of close range brawling, you know, that's just not for you. You're gonna have, but you know what? Fuck it. I I'm going to disagree with what I just said there, because while that is true, like, you are a casemate, so you don't have like the versatility of like a normal tank. One thing I have discovered is that if you beeline it for where the enemy is, there's nothing that they can really do. There's really nothing that can pen your frontal armor at this BR. I mean, other than like 17 or 20 pounder, APDS, which again, or not again, but only a few tanks get that, and only one or two countries get that in the tech tree, or out of all the tech trees. So as long as you aren't going up against, armor piercing discarding Sabo at 6.3, which is pretty easy, your armor is pretty much invincible. I have bounced 122 mil, Russian 122 mil cannons, 100 mil cannons, 85s, 90s, long 90s. I mean, there's nothing really that can pen this armor. Maybe if you hit the machine gun port, I think that might be something. But I mean, that's such a small weak spot, and I mean, I have like, bushes, camo on the front of my tank, so good fucking luck, aiming there, let alone hitting it. So I mean, the versatility of this thing, I don't want to call it into question just because it is just because it is a casemate. It is still a very, very good tank. Do I think it is worth 6,090 Golden Eagles? I don't know. I recently also picked up, just to kind of go off on a little bit of a tangent, and I guess my overall, thought process with how I make the determination as to whether a premium vehicle is worth the money or not. I recently picked up the new Puma, the premium Puma, the SDKFZ 234/2, the one with the 50 mil cannon. Because with the new update, they came out with a premium version. That tank is basically just a copy paste of, the one that's already in the tech tree, right? There really is no reason to buy it unless you want another one in your lineup. I really like the Puma, so, I thought having two of them in my lineup would be good. So from that point of view, the Puma is worth it. And since I bought this thing to have another Jagdpanther in my lineup at 6.3, I would probably say that, yeah, I mean, 6,090 Golden Eagles is worth it. I'm pretty much at the point with the grind in this game where I don't really care about researching tech trees anymore. I mean, I'm basically at a rank 5 or 6 for every tech tree. I've completed 2, about to complete 3, ground tech trees. I'm very well advanced in a lot of the air tech trees. I don't touch naval because fuck naval. So I'm really more so interested in just having a nice, solid, like silver line grinder. So every time, they do those little loot box crate things, every, few months, I have, millions of silver lines to blow without having to worry about spending 100 hours of gameplay recuperating my losses for the 10,000 boosters and one shitty event vehicle from 8 years ago that I got, So would I say that this is worth it? Yeah. The only real issue I have with this vehicle, like genuine issue I have, like no joke, no bullshit, is playing with German teams at 6.3 is a little... it's a coin toss. Every time you get into a match with Germany, whether they're on your team or against your team, right? Or, on the other team, God flips a coin. Are they going to be the amazing German mains that can memorize the fucking, bullet drop of an 88 millimeter cannon from 10,000 meters away? They know all the angles of penetration. They know where to shoot every tank. Or are you going to play with the German mains that started playing Germany because they saw the scene in theory and they think Tiger tanks are cool and they don't give a fuck about how good or bad they do? That's really the only issue I have with this, is the quality of German teams is very hit or miss. I have found that when I am on down tiers or, partial down tiers, or even slight up tiers, I can do pretty good with this tank and the other tanks I have in my lineup at 6-3. However, on full down or full up tiers, I have found that every time I am on a full up tier with Germany at 6-3, we just get our fucking asses kicked. Within 3 minutes, we're getting spawn trapped. Half the team has, one death rage quit. It's just not fun. So if you can handle playing with German teams at 6-3, or you're just that good to where you can sort of compensate for maybe the lack of skill of other people or the other people's lack of skill, yeah, I mean, there really is no reason for you to pick it up. I mean, the price tag on it is a little blech. But, my attitude about the amount of money I spend in this game is I can get more playtime out of a $50 premium vehicle than I think a lot of people get out of AAA title games that you will, would see on sale at like GameStop or whatever. You don't know how many times I see people fucking buy a AAA title game and they think that they spent their money good because they bought a game and they don't touch it at all. So I don't really care about the money I spent on this game. Oh yeah, watch, look at this. I run out of ammo here. I was firing heat, which doesn't really do a whole lot against light tanks, and I am just sitting here out of fucking ammo. I tried to build a supply box, and I couldn't build one. I was really close to a nuke. I think I was like 500, spawn points off from a nuke here. So I didn't get the nuke. Every time I get close to a nuke with Germany at 6-3, I usually don't get it, because by the time I get to like around 2000 SP, the match is pretty much over. So my final verdict is, yeah, sure, buy it. I think that this vehicle is great. The Jagdpanther is honestly a really good tank destroyer at 6-3. Probably the best tank destroyer at 6-3, with the exception of maybe the Su 100P, or like, I know it's a little lower, but like the Hellcats or like the Super Hellcats. But yeah, I would very much recommend buying it. 6,090 Golden Eagles. Yeah, it's maybe a little steep. If it's that steep enough, go buy it on a half off sale. Alright guys, see you later. Thank you for watching. Merry Christmas, or whatever dumb shit we celebrate nowadays. Bye. Yo.